Survivors sharing one story at a time in hopes to prevent suicide. We'll let you hear from an El Dorado woman who's opening up about her experience. And an icon dubbed a living legend in journalism passes. We'll share the life and legacy of Louisiana native Cokie Roberts. Plus, a proposal in Oak Grove can make it easier for locals to get their hands on alcohol. We'll tell you what it is and how voters can have their voices heard. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and one survivor in Crossett is sharing her personal battle. She spoke with Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer about the day she tried to take her life.
Felicia Toller says she may look like she has it together now, but recently she got to her lowest point.
Pretty much all day that day, I would drink the antifreeze.
Toller suffers from PTSD and has uncontrollable seizures. She has depended on family and friends for support for much of her adult life. And one day in July, she says she no longer wanted to be a burden.
I just got to a dark place where I thought, you know, life would just be so much better for everybody else if they didn't have to deal with me.
Toller says it was only by the grace of God someone found her in time to save her life. That person who found her was her youngest daughter.
They said normally, you know, my kidneys or my, you know, liver could have really been damaged.
She's talking about her suicide attempt now, letting others know it's not the way to go.
And don't close yourself off. You have to make yourself live.
Social workers like Yolanda Johnson says it's important for victims to talk with somebody when they are in a dark place. It's also as equally important for loved ones to be aware and just listen.
Don't be judgmental. Actually sit down and listen and hear what they have to say. If they try to block you out, no, you push harder, because it ultimately can end in suicide.
Just listening can save a life. In Crossett, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, Fox 14 News.
Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing thoughts of suicide, you can call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Now on to a crime alert. Monroe police are asking for the public's help to find a man they say is armed and dangerous. They're trying to track down 18-year-old Kavari Jones. Jones has active warrants for armed robbery and aggravated assault. Police say he hangs around the south side of Monroe. Again, Jones should be considered armed and dangerous and is known to carry a weapon at all times. If you see him, do not approach him. Instead, call police at the number that you see on your screen. And detectives in Monroe also want to find this man, Tony Thompson. He's wanted for a fourth offense of domestic abuse battery and violating a protective order. He's also known to hang around on Monroe's south side, especially in the area of South 3rd and South 4th Streets. If you see him or know where he is, please call the number above. And the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office wants your help to find a man they say is stealing lawnmowers in the Lakeshore area. Take a look. Deputies say this man is wanted for a series of thefts of lawn equipment. They say he's taking the mowers, trimmers, and other items from open carports in the area. They say he may be driving a white Ford F-150 short bed single cab pickup. That's a late 90s or early 2000s model. If you know this man, call OPSO at 318-329-1200. Cokie Roberts, a Louisiana native and one of the first female broadcast reporters to cover the highest levels of U.S. government, died today at the age of 75. Her family released a statement saying she died from complications from breast cancer. Roberts worked at ABC News and NPR. ABC News President James Goldston called Roberts a true pioneer for women in journalism, while NPR tweeted that she helped shape the public broadcaster's sound and culture at a time when few women held prominent roles in journalism. She was also named one of the 50 greatest women in the history of broadcasting by the American Women in Radio and Television. The Library of Congress declared her a living legend in 2008. Roberts is survived by her husband, 2 children, and several grandchildren. And today, Governor John Bel Edwards released the following statement on Roberts' passing that reads, quote, "Our hearts are heavy today in Louisiana as we mourn the loss of Cokie Roberts. Cokie had a passion for history and was a legendary journalist who inspired generations of women to pursue careers in political journalism at a time when the profession was dominated by men. We'll miss Cokie's kindness, compassion, and contributions to our state and our country." New at 9, West Carroll is the only parish in the region that forbids the sale of alcohol. Fox 14's Chelsea Jones is back from Oak Grove, where the option to sell is on the table. Chelsea, tell us how people are reacting.
Well, Sarah, everyone I spoke with tonight says it's a very political game, and most didn't want to share their thoughts on camera. But I spoke with one woman who says alcohol can help the local economy. If you want to pour it, buy it, or sell it, you can't.
Everything that they're afraid of is probably already here anyway.
West Carroll Parish is completely dry, so here in Oak Grove, alcohol is practically forbidden.
We already have people going outside the parish and buying liquor, bringing it in.
But that may all change come October 12th, as 5 propositions are on the ballot, which basically says, if passed, residents will be able to buy, sell, and drink alcohol in town.
My belief that democracy is the will of the people, and the citizens of the town of Oak Grove will decide how they would like to proceed.
Many locals say off camera that there is a fear of heightened crime, alcohol-related injuries, and easier access for people underage. But Lena Collins says those things already exist, and the revenue that would be made could even help crack down on crime.
The sheriff's department, everyone in any type of authority is dealing with these problems. So why not get the revenue to start making it where they can deal with it even better?
Mayor Adam Holland says this decision is one of the people and for everyone to make informed decisions.
Look at how it has affected other communities, whether in a positive way or a negative way.
14 is your local election headquarters, and the Oak Grove alcohol propositions go to vote October 12th. We'll have full coverage on all things election that day. In the studio, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Chelsea. The man convicted of robbing a Richland Parish gas station at gunpoint has learned his fate. Derek Banks robbed the Start In and Out at gunpoint back on February 23rd. He was on the run for almost 2 months before being captured. State police finally arrested Banks in April after getting a tip that he was fishing in Houma, Louisiana. Banks has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for the crime. In your economic news, a local company is expanding, bringing more jobs to the area. Today, Mid-South Extrusion's president announced the company will invest $4.5 million to add a 10th production line to its Monroe facility. This will upgrade their operations in Ouachita Parish, where the company produces polyethylene films for packaging and other industrial and commercial uses. The expansion will bring 24 new jobs to Ouachita Parish. The City of West Monroe is hosting a visioning session for the Downtown Streetscape and Placemaking Project. These sessions are a way of letting the citizens of West Monroe decide what they would like to see in the downtown area in the near future. The City of West Monroe is asking for input in imagining what West Monroe could look like, whether it deals with infrastructure, arts and culture, or just a specific business. Mayor Stacy Mitchell says it's important for the city to have the public's feedback.
I hope they understand the process of the plan, understand maybe reasons why things may be done, why things may not be done, how things will work with the plan, because just getting a plan, then we will be looking at funding opportunities and how will we pay for this.
The first of 2 visioning sessions was held earlier tonight. The second session will be tomorrow morning from 8 to 9:30 at the Rialto on Trenton Street. And KEDM hosted a candidates forum this evening at the West Monroe Convention Center. The forum featured local contested races, including the clerk of courts and the police jury for Ouachita Parish. Candidates spoke about their professions and how they would help them in the office that they're currently running for. This was KEDM's final Meet the Candidates Forum. Louisiana Delta Community College held an event to commemorate the signing of the U.S. Constitution. One of the school's history teachers shared the story of the founding fathers and why the Constitution is a huge part of American history. Faculty also shared the history of LDCC and how it's similar to that of the Constitution. The goal behind the event was to show the students what events and programs are offered at their school to further their education.
We are also excited to have the Vice Chancellor Corsai come and speak with the students, and it's a great opportunity for them to learn more about the Constitution as well as ask the Vice Chancellor questions.
The Vice Chancellor shared some important life lessons learned in college to prepare the students for the future workplace. Coming up on Fox 14, Oak Grove will soon be getting international exposure. We'll have more on the small town being featured in Small Towns podcast. And Americans are spending big bucks on booze. So just how much are we spending as a nation? We'll have the answer. All that and more is up next on Fox 14 News at 9.
News sponsored by Go Auto Insurance. News sponsored by Marie's Medical.
Join us every Wednesday at 12:30 for Tracking the Tropics, a digital weekly report on myarklemis.com that'll keep you safe this hurricane season.
Tracking the Tropics, Wednesday at 12:30 on myarklemis.com.
For the best local coverage of high school football, tune into The Kickoff, Wednesdays on Fox 14.
The Kickoff, Wednesday night at 9:30 on Fox 14. Brought to you by Guerrero & Guerrero, the injury attorney.
You want a quality pre-owned vehicle? Then shop CarTown, where each car's been run through a 50-point inspection process and comes with a 2-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Quality vehicles at affordable prices is what CarTown has been doing for more than 50 years. Shop us at usedcargiants.com.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday home-style chicken now available every day. And our new sweet and smoky home-style chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course.
Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
My experience at White Ford has just been exceptional. Each time that I have bought a vehicle from here, from service to purchasing the vehicle, it has just been a smooth transition each time I've come. Actually, I've never bought a vehicle anywhere else. It feels like family. They treat you like family, and it's even after the fact. From sales to service, I know that they've done their job, and I know that they've done it to the fullest of their ability, and they're proud of that.
Get your mower going. Hunters, get ready. Hunting season is right around the corner, but your yard needs to be mowed now. With Exmark's Triple Play sales event, you can buy a brand new mower and not have to pay until April. That's no payments until April 1st. No joke. No payments until April. This leaves more money for you to spend on hunting equipment and more time for you to spend in the blind this fall. That's Exmark's Triple Play sales event going on now at Ouachita Lawn and Garden.
Hi, folks. CarTown's been on Louisville Avenue for over 50 years, taking care of all your vehicle needs. And with over 200 in stock, it's a great time to shop usedcargiants.com or come see us at the foot of Louisville Bridge, Monroe, West Monroe.
For something old or something new, Cottonport Antique Mall.
News sponsored by Marie's Medical. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Have you heard of Small Town Podcast? Well, you're going to want to keep your ears open for some small towns from the Arklamis that are being featured. Fox 14's Brian Briggs brings us the story.
Exciting things will be happening for the town of Oak Grove as they have been invited to be featured in a Small Towns podcast, which reaches an international audience. They have been selected from a pool of 8 that has been shrunk to 5, submitted by Mayor Holland. It will also include some highlights from surrounding cities and towns, such as Tallulah and Lake Providence. The goal is to share more about small town life, everything from the good times to the struggles.
Hopefully, hearing the stories of how we have done things here in Oak Grove will be beneficial to other communities, or possibly get the word out there to get visitors or potential investors or folks who want to relocate to our community.
Now, some of the locales to be featured on the podcast will be the Fisk Theater, the Legion Hut here in Oak Grove City Park, to even the Johnny's Pizza House, which is also a historic railroad house. Downtown's even got a Briggs Street, which, personally, is pretty cool. And residents are pretty excited about it.
We need some recognition. That's what Oak Grove is all about. Instead of, sometimes people come through, they just passing through, but they don't get the opportunity to really know what it's all about.
I think it's exciting. Anytime we can let somebody know about our area, we're proud of it, and we know what's here, and this way it lets other people know. And sometimes we have a tendency to take it for granted, so it's going to be kind of nice to look at it through other people's eyes as well. So we're excited about it.
In Oak Grove, Brian Briggs, Fox 14 News.
Once everything is finalized, the podcast will be released sometime near the start of next year. New at 9, an El Dorado Christmas tradition is returning this year, and our sister station KTVE is once again a part of it. The community Christmas tree will once again stand on West Main Street. Earlier today, the El Dorado Advertising and Promotions Committee approved funding for the tree. It'll return to its original location outside of the former KTVE studio at 400 West Main. The lights will go up starting on November 15th. They'll first be lit on November 21st when the city holds their annual downtown holiday lighting. Starting that night, the lights will come on at 5 p.m. every night and shut off at midnight through January 1st. Jared, you know there's nothing like getting ready for Christmas in September.
Well, it's not the getting ready for Christmas in September, because you've got to plan and fund and do all that stuff. It's the fact that it's still 95 degrees outside. That's the problem. I'm not okay with this. Full look at the forecast is next on Fox.
You know what? I'm not either. Thanks, Jared. Also coming up on Fox 14, it's something you use every day. By now, you're probably aware that your phone is dirty, but studies have found your phone is even dirtier than a toilet seat. Yeah, we'll tell you how to protect yourself.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Bad calls? Not here at Interstate in West Monroe. It's Ram Power Days, where we're passing out great deals without the interference. A Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $22,990. A Cherokee, $18,990. A Compass, $17,990. A Renegade, $16,990. A Journey, $16,990. The all-new Gladiator is $5,000 off. And a Ram 2500, heavy duty, $9,000 off. Shop InterstateDodge.com. No signs? You're the real winner at Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
Washington Democrats want a full government takeover of health care, but John Bell Edwards has already started.
On every level, it's been a success.
False. Reports show his takeover had widespread misspending, prompting a federal probe. Handouts going to those who didn't qualify. Millions wasted. Over 40% of our state budget goes to fund health care.
On every level, it's been a success.
Wrong. Higher taxes and mismanagement. That's John Bell Edwards. Paid for by RGA Right Direction PAC.
Best part about football? The highlights. So Dish gives you NFL Red Zone, no extra charge. That's every touchdown from every game Sunday afternoons.
Right here.
Because we know if you miss that action, you miss all this action. And that would be an awful shame.
Dish with NFL Red Zone at no extra charge. Tuned in to you.
The new sporty GLC.
Come on, we're so late. Great.
It fights traffic.
There's no parking. I told you. Oh, a spot.
We'll never fit. It fights tension.
Seriously? Did you take my phone?
Passenger light on. It even fights fighting. Innovation that keeps people together. The 2020 GLC. Lease the GLC 300 SUV for just $479 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Ralph Abraham promised to donate his congressional salary to charity, but he lied, took the money, and bought himself a $500,000 airplane instead. More missed votes than any congressman in America. Abraham personally called on President Trump to step down, but joined Nancy Pelosi to oppose a border wall and voted with her over 300 times. Typical politician Ralph Abraham. On so many levels, he just doesn't work for Louisiana.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Edwards Body Works. Reliable since 1971.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Limited rainfall across the region today as we take a look at the live Storm Tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Most of the rainfall across Wind, Grant, LaSalle parishes, and it was really just a lot of cloud cover and some periods of rain that ran out of that moisture pretty quickly. Dry air zapping the rainfall before it could really make a lot of northward progress. And that's to be expected at this point, considering the landfalling tropical system that is moving inland. We've got a lot of dry air in the low and mid levels of the atmosphere, especially off to our north. So as this moisture continues to progress northward, it's running into quite a bit of dry air, and it's zapping the rain before it can really get going. Now, also to be expected with any kind of landfalling tropical system, The rain is shrinking down in coverage. As we get into the night, we lose the daytime instability and the daytime heating, which helps to really flourish the rain coverage across much of Sabine Pass and into the upper Texas coastline. This was a surprise today. I really won't beat around the bush about it. The fact that a tropical wave went from Invest 98L to Tropical Depression 11 to Tropical Storm Imelda to Tropical Depression Imelda, all in about 7 hours' time, reminds me a lot of Hurricane Umberto back in 2007. Not the Hurricane Umberto that we have out there currently, but we had a little tropical wave that hung around the upper Texas coastline during the afternoon hours back maybe late August of 2007, and it sat there and became a tropical depression, tropical storm, even a Category 1 hurricane in about 12 hours' time out over portions of the Atlantic. I forgot to switch this graphic. My apologies, folks. There's the last of the satellite before we switched over, and we, of course, lose sunset. So as the sun sets, it gets dark, and you lose all the satellite. So I didn't switch over to the infrared satellite. You get the general idea as the storm continues to move inland. Umberto, this is obviously the 2019 Umberto, not the 2007 one, but we're starting to see this thing get a little bit more organized again. Maximum sustained winds at 115 miles per hour. We completed an eye wall replacement cycle with this storm yesterday, and now we have to keep an eye on the potential of a major hurricane coming very close to Bermuda, very small island, and my finger's almost covering it right there, very small, but that's the only really landmass that's threatened by this storm. Also of note, Tropical Depression 10 has formed in the open Atlantic. Still got a long ways to go. We'll keep an eye on any potential impacts from this storm. It actually became a tropical depression before Tropical Depression Imelda, so that's why the numbering and the naming gets a little wonky at that point. That would be Jerry, by the way, if Tropical Depression 10 becomes a tropical storm. Temperatures right now, upper 70s to low 80s. Some low 70s and mid 70s where the rain-cooled air is set in across central Louisiana. Lows tonight, low 70s, mainly clear with winds generally calm. Highs tomorrow, back in the mid 90s. Isolated storms possible in the afternoon with winds out of the southeast. Best chances of rain with that remnant moisture from Imelda will be on Friday. Still not great, about a 40% shot through the course of the day, and then summer is back quickly by the end of the weekend with highs back in the mid-90s. Seeing a little bit of a dip temperature-wise, but nothing to get overly excited about as Imelda's leftovers move through much of the central U.S. over the next 3 to 4 days.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jared.
You bet.
Coming up on Fox 14, another death attributed to Eastern equine encephalitis. It's being reported in Michigan. We'll have more coming up in health. And you may want to check your flour in your pantry. We'll have more on why General Mills has made the decision to pull some of its all-purpose flour off the shelves.
The Animal House is your local pet store, Cypress Street, West Monroe.
Here's the truck you've always wanted, with everything you expect from America's best-selling pickup. Now, with an unexpected offer, get a premium leather interior and full bed liner at no extra charge. The luxury you want, an offer you can't pass up. Don't miss your chance to save on this exclusive offer. Get $11,400 in total savings on F-150, plus premium leather and liner at no extra charge. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday Homestyle Chicken now available every day. And our new Sweet and Smoky Homestyle Chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
You're not holding it by the legs, are you?
No, I'm not.
Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Be honest. Haven't you missed this guy? Have you missed him even a little? If Ralph Abraham and Eddie Risponi get their way, you won't be missing him for long, because both would bring back Bobby Jindal's failed policies. Abraham and Risponi support the same Jindal corporate tax breaks that helped lead to drastic cuts to education and hospitals. No wonder Jindal's allies have spent millions lying about Governor Edwards. We can't go back. Let's keep Louisiana headed in the right direction. Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
Want to take your X5 to the next level? Now you can with X5 Advantage, giving you enhanced performance and protection. When devices are connected to your home's Wi-Fi, they're protected, helping keep outsiders from getting inside. Plus, you get unlimited data, so you can stream, surf, and game all you want. With confidence, you can get coverage where you need it most. That's X5 Advantage. Check out Gig Speed Internet or any of our other speed options. Learn more or get started now for as low as $20 per month for a year. Call, click, or visit a store today.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
2 more people have died from Eastern equine encephalitis. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services said the most recent deaths involved people in Cass and Van Buren counties. A Kalamazoo County man previously died from the dangerous mosquito-borne disease. The state health agency says the 2 new deaths are among the 4 new human cases of Triple E that they've confirmed, bringing the total to 7. Triple E is one of the most dangerous diseases mosquitoes can carry. Although human cases are rare, approximately 1 in 3 people sickened by Triple E will die from it. And of course, we take our smartphones everywhere, put them down just about anywhere, and many of us don't clean them very often, meaning our cell phones are pretty dirty. Fox's Stacey Delicat shows us just how filthy our phones really are and how to properly disinfect them.
My phone probably dirty.
It gets dirty. So fingerprints.
By now, you're probably aware that your cell phone is dirty. Studies have found its surface can have as much as 10 times as much bacteria as a toilet seat. But what are you doing about it? And how often do you wipe your cell phone down?
Never.
Some people admit they don't clean their phones. Others do so occasionally. How often do you wipe down your cell phone?
Once a week.
I do like once a month. But doctors say you should be doing it more often. Dr. Eric Asher is a family medicine physician with Lenox Hill and Northwell Health.
As a general rule, I recommend to my patients that they should clean their phone at least once daily.
Others advise giving the phone a wipe 2 times a day, especially with flu season approaching.
The flu virus can live on surfaces for up to 24 hours.
In other words, shake a sick person's hand, send a text, later eat a snack while you're scrolling on your phone, and you could be transferring that flu virus. But while that is a realistic scenario, Dr. Asher says most of the germs on your phone probably won't make you sick.
Likely a lot of the bacteria that is on your cell phone is not going to harm you, but it's not worth the risk. E. coli, salmonella, staph, strep are all dangerous bacteria that can live on hard surfaces like your cell phone for hours to days.
If wiping down your phone twice or even once daily sounds like too much, experts say another way to minimize the risk of spreading germs is to just not take your phone out, especially while you're eating or using the restroom. Over in consumer news, General Mills has issued a voluntary recall of 5-pound bags of some gold medal flour. E. coli was found while sampling bags of gold medal unbleached all-purpose flour. Bags with better if used by date of September 6, 2020 are subject of the recall. General Mills says it has not received any word of illnesses associated with the flour. Consumers are asked to check their pantries and dispose of the product affected by this recall. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and the number of Americans having a drink continues to rise, and so does how much they're spending on alcohol. A recent Gallup poll found that 65% of American adults say they drink. It's the 3rd year in a row that percentage has gone up. USA Today reports the average spending on alcoholic beverages ranges from as little as $500 a person per year to as much as $1,200 per year. 24/7 Wall Street analyzed Bureau of Labor Statistics data of 22 major metro areas to come up with those numbers. They noted the vast majority of the cities spending the most have a higher than average cost of living, which doesn't mean people there drink more, it just means the alcohol costs more. And in business news, websites that you visit every day may be fronts for illegal drugs. And Apple is investing in America, and Amazon is putting out the Help Wanted sign. Fox Business Network's Tracy Carrasco has today's Fox Business News.
A new report shows it's even easier than you may think to find illegal drugs. Drug dealers are reportedly targeting sites like Facebook and YouTube as new ways to illegally sell steroids. According to the Digital Citizens Alliance, the illegal drugs are also being marketed in posts and videos discovered on Instagram and Twitter. They were found using simple search terms like human growth hormone. The new findings are calling into question whether social media companies are doing enough to police illicit content on their sites. Apple making a big investment in manufacturing right here in the U.S. The tech giant putting another $250 million into a Corning plant in Harrodsburg, Kentucky that produces shatterproof glass.
The phones we launched just last week, the 11 and the 11 Pro, have glass that came from here, and it is the toughest glass in any smartphone in the industry.
Every generation of iPhone has had glass from the plant as well as the Apple Watch. And Amazon is on a hiring spree. The company is holding job fairs in 6 cities today to fill more than 30,000 full-time positions. The cities are Arlington, Virginia, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Seattle.
I'm really interested in kind of their scope, and I'm also a big fan of their company culture and always wanting to innovate and look for new solutions for things.
Amazon currently employs about 650,000 workers. It's the largest private employer after Walmart. For more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Tracy Carrasco.
Still to come on Fox 14, during a hearing today, Democrats clashed with the president's former campaign manager. Why Democrats say the testimony is critical to determining whether the president obstructed justice, and why they say it's the start of an impeachment investigation. And lawmakers on Capitol Hill are asking tough questions after President Trump blamed Iran for a major attack on Saudi Arabia's oil industry. All the details coming up. Keep it right here on Fox 14.